Oh,
Shit.
here it comes.
Got already the moisture. I can feel it. It's exquisite. Watch it rise and then fall, like the aeons. Yeah, probably, or a Lovecraft story. It could be from the mythos.
Sure. Whatever you want.
Precious channel. It is I, your internet friend, Jeffrey K. Horcrims. And however it came to be, you have fallen ass backwards into Twitch's brewing show, Acquisitions Intoxicated, a program whose noble purpose, is to give you that which you already own, your own science brewing. I try to adhere as much as possible to some kind of a script for Mike's benefit, because
thank you.
I know that they enjoy the catechism, and I want to make sure that I deliver it at a high level of execution. Nick, thank you so much. Hey, now, so that being said, I am joined as almost always by Acquisitions Intoxicated Brewmaster Eric J. Benson, the notorious EJB, Edge, Azerbaijan, the man of many faces. He joins us yet again, but also a very special mouth guest.
Hey, everybody.
Mr. Mike Krahulik. Abe and Andy, thank you so much. And Pat the Pineapple gifting the subs. We love that feeling. Now, so it's like this. And then at 1:30, we will see you again, Mike, to hunt monsters.
Oh, shit.
We gotta hunt these mons.
So we're going to spend some time together. And it's what we do to these monsters is not noble.
No. We shouldn't actually be showing it off to people.
No, it may be what we do to these monsters may be against the TOS. It might actually get the channel in big trouble, but we have to try it. That being said, today's beverage, War and Yeast, is gonna hurt you.
Okay.
You have the Growlito ready to go.
I got the Growlito.
All right, perfect. Well, here,
smell it.
Yeah. So go ahead and bring it to your nose hole. I'll bring some too.
Smells kind of chocolatey.
It should.
Yeah.
It should. It's gonna be rich. It's gonna be chocolatey. There's gonna be
this chocolate shake.
Yeah. It's gonna be. You're gonna find hints of poison.
Hints of poison.
Poison and chocolate. Woo!
That traditional combo. Here, I don't know.
It doesn't smell bad at all.
No, it wouldn't. We fooled you again. Well, here, so give it a try, and then I'll apologize.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the big taste.
Yeah. That's a big gulp.
Oh, no, D2 the Rock. Thank you. If only I could kill Mike again and again and generate these subs each time.
Oh, if it's been real.
Oh, the hat fell off.
It had to happen one day. That we
knew it was en route, though, didn't we?
We knew we would kill him. And thus rising from the ashes.
Piril, yes, I know that if I kill him, I'm going to need someone else to produce JPEGs. He's the only one I want to make these JPEGs
taste like that?
Well, I don't know. Let's pull up.
Fail? You failed.
Is this an accident? Synaptic, thank you so much.
No, this is actually on purpose. That's the frightening bit about this.
Are you going to drink it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but first, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for engaging in this ritual with us. First of all, because you commit so hard, even to things that I have told you are going to be poisonous. But you tipped that motherfucker back. I'm super impressed.
I'm going
with your willingness. Yeah, you need to go and purge.
Wash that out. Yeah.
Now, That being said, Mr. Benson,
Yeah.
let's get sick with it. So let's break down the material components, as it were, for this elixir or this reverse elixir.
This is a black IPA.
Yes, which is a style that we have some familiarity with. War Priest is itself
the original,
the very first beer we ever made on the show.
Yeah. So remember, this was created for the plane of Acheron, which is a continual battle, right?
That's right.
So it's Munich malt, which we all know and love.
Yeah, but so rich, so good.
But when Mike said it smells like chocolate, that's the carafa. We put carafa in this.
Well, there's carafa in there, and then there's roasted barley. So now there's our coffee.
Yeah, that's super like it is coffee and roast. So let's hit that on the Mike scale of things. From love it to hate it.
Yeah, roasted chocolate plus the coffee, and then the especially bad part is that the nose on it is exquisite.
Yeah,
I mean that's the rough stuff, right?
Yep. But then we came in with Idaho 7.
Look at this son of a bitch.
Yeah.
It's like
Idaho 7 has the hop, and then we backed it up with Tomahawk.
Right, which is a big gun.
Yeah.
Under the best of circumstances. Now, give me some information about this Burton Ale, because that's not a typical yeast for us. And I think that comes across.
It's giving clover and honey taste.
Exactly. So this is a different kind of richness.
Right.
In addition to the basic thing, because I'll tell you that the body on this is a wonderland.
Yeah. John Mayer actually sings about this.
To coin a phrase.
In the past.
An original phrase. Yeah. 2021 copyright me.
Right.
So if you see anybody using it, it's like,
right. This. Yeah.
No. But I think, because we were talking about it yesterday, and you were like, I think it was the American ale, but there's something else happening in like the malt body of it that is distinct from anything that we've done. So if it's like honey and clove, that's definitely different. But against the chocolate and roast, that's kick ass, actually. Like that's really, really nice. I think that where things get to another place. So understand that Mike's reaction to that is correct for his palate. There isn't anything in particular that's going to be goosed about this.
We designed an anti-Mike beer.
Yes, exactly. This is a beer of slaying, essentially.
Yeah.
Right? But
I didn't think about it until we were tasting it yesterday. I'm like, oh, this is gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt him. It's gonna hurt him. Well, here, do you want to get a cup?
I'd love to. I'm gonna put in Everwinter.
Oh yeah. Do handle all of the things.
How about let's talk about that. Right?
Yeah. Let's swap it back over here. Oh, this is quite simple for us, isn't it?
This is a Belgian blonde, remember. This is for the White Dragon. It's I got Belgian Pilsner malt. Then we're throwing in Carapils. And then we're going with the Styrian Goldings, a classic Styrian Golding.
This is crisp and classic. The thing that where it surprises you is in the ABV. You got this color over here, and then your ABV is down is up, in the 8 realm.
It's fucked.
Right? So this is a sneaky son of a bitch.
Yeah, this is an ice dragon or a white dragon is not intelligent.
No.
But it hits you like a freight train. And that's exactly what this is. This is not a complex beer, but it's going to hit you like a freight train.
Right, they're brutal. That's the thing about it. It's not subtle in its brutality.
Yeah.
But it will surprise you by leaping out of a drift.
Yeah.
Now, CC Nowhere, thank you so much. Now, so we do have a couple. We have a couple of the Dragon beers already laid up. Cloak and Stagger is from before that sequence, and that's one of the ones that we'll be tasting soon. Is my understanding. I don't think we didn't get Cloak and Stagger out yet, did we?
No.
Yeah. That one's still happening. Right here. So you want to go throw in the product? I mean, it's gonna. I think I know what that grain basket's gonna look like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, friends who are gathered here, as well. Certainly, if you have spent any quality time with us here, you can tell in terms of the SRM output, clocking in at around 3.5. This basket it's going to be full up, but it's not going to be visually noteworthy as some of the other recent ones have. Better break for us. Nice to see you again. Yeah. So we're gonna once the incredible product gets dialed in over there on the other side. Yeah, Dump Stout was hardcore. Jerry, this is from Josh here. I put a prompt into chat about the top 3 beers. What are your top 3? You actually gave me one of my all-time favorite beers. The Kurikuro Dark Chestnut Ale is just beyond. It is one of the best. I have had beers from all over the world, and I feel quite confident saying that that's one of the best beers globally. In terms of my other like favorite super top apex beers, I think Hocker Shore is probably my favorite German beer. Pretty classic Weiss beer vibe with the hopping is almost herbal in nature. It's like herbal and floral, so there's almost like a weird like vanilla undertone to this just perfect glass otherwise. And then my favorite IPA is Blue Dot from Hair of the Dog, which was only available, actually still might be only available in 22s. That's a brewery out of Oregon that I think is really, really world class. But the actual favorite, so those are like my favorites, like my top 3. There's a beer that's like separate from that, and it's also by Hair of the Dog. It's called Doggy Claws, and if you ever see it, you should buy it immediately, as much as they have, and take it home, because as a barley wine, it's going to be perfectly adept at hanging out on your shelf for a long time and becoming something else. So there was a really cool little stop in my old neighborhood here in Seattle called The Yard. It's really, really small. Look at that glass. Jesus Christ, man. Oh, you got the D and C. You're ready to go. But look at the head on this son of a bitch. But basically, Doggy Claws is the most complicated thing I have ever tasted, beer or anything else.
This is a fantastic black IPA.
Yeah, did you put some in that craw hole?
Yeah, and it's really, really roasty and chocolatey.
This is beyond. I legitimately can't believe this.
Yeah, I'm digging it. But I mean, you have to like that roasty and chocolatey.
Yeah. Well, and then, but I think that the end result from that in the man, there's a lot to think about there.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm drinking that yeast. I think that yeast has given the roasty chocolatey thing a really thick syrupy body too. So those flavor notes generally, I think, are going to lead to something that's a little thin, like a cold coffee type thing. But the Burton Ale has made it rich. It's crazy, and the hop, to me, the hop tastes different. I don't know if we just had a chance to rest in the growler.
Mm-hmm.
When I was having it yesterday, I didn't know so much about the Idaho 7 because it's like on the rest of that kind of stuff, if you start throwing fruit in, you're just asking for trouble, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now it's part of it. Now it's actually in the mix.
Right.
Jumping Jesus.
Thank
you so much.
I am thrilled with this beer. I mean, it is definitely not for everyone, Like black IPAs are a specialty in and of themselves. Like I don't think there's a huge market for them, but
yeah. Well, no, there isn't, because you'd see way more of them if there were.
Yeah, right.
Nobody wants to spend their shelf inches
on
an experiment like this.
Yeah.
Right? IPA by itself, that's something you can make money with.
Right.
But the truth is, you don't really see that many stouts either. That's not where the industry is at.
No.
So if you come in and if you come in like this and execute like the black IPA thing,
right,
where it's like, okay, we've got chocolate, but we also have coffee, and then it has this body, but then there's this like fruit note in the middle of it. No, but that's different from whether or not it's a good beer.
Yeah.
Right. That's a separate consideration.
Right.
So what's the ABV on it?
I don't think it's that bad. I lied. It's 7.2.
See, this is the thing. We keep thinking it's not that bad because the beers that we make are executed at such a high level, Mr.
Right.
Benson.
And you know what's interesting? I still place War Priest above this one, though. And let's go check that recipe out. Well, we can. Right?
The difference for War Priest is that War Priest is more drinkable.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. I mean, we did put Carafa in this, but it was just a touch.
Yeah,
and that was
quarter ounce.
But listen to this malt build that we did.
Pookie Man, thank you. That's the mega sub bomb. Obviously, much appreciated.
Pookie.
And Retro Night as well. Thank you so much.
Look at this build though. Pale malt, then the biscuity Maris Otter, then some caramel and crystal for to give us that, emphasize the malt flavor, and then just a little bit of Carafa.
And then a more traditional yeast that's gonna get in and get out.
Yep, we use Columbus, which is Tomahawk. They're almost one and the same.
Right, so some overlap there, but the difference is that we didn't move with fruit on the Pacific Jade, right?
But the Columbus was used at the beginning, where we used Columbus at the end.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and the citrus was from Pacific Jade.
Right, and in that it's pretty mild.
Citrus and black pepper.
Yeah, it has an herbal note, right? But
I want to brew this again. This was a great freaking.
We should brew it constantly. We should never be without it. It should be a friend that's always at hand. Like
this and Velvet Cape, I think would be just fun to go back and rebrew.
Well, I completely agree. And the truth is, there's just nothing to change. Yeah. It's like with this, with War and Yeast, I think that the malt bill that we've put together here, I think there's a million beers you could make from there.
Right.
Like right now, we cranked the IBUs and we made something that's sort of like in the IPA space. Right. But this is a little bit more of a serious contender. Right. This isn't like War Priest is designed to be an ally. Like this War and Yeast is kind of an experience to have. And I think it's really good.
Right.
But you calibrate your palate with something like this.
Right. Oh yeah, Jesus.
This tells you where the parentheses are.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Right? But this is a killer. This is a killer base. And I think there's a lot of beers that you could make from this. Right?
Absolutely.
No, it's special. But yes, it doesn't surprise me to learn that it's 7.2 because we'd messed around with it a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
I felt hot.
Felt good.
Yeah, I felt like I was ready to wrestle a steer, or whatever, whatever is being wrestled these days. Whatever the youth are wrestling.
You never know. It's just a crapshoot with them.
No, it's true. Yeah. It's true. Here, GamerGuy says, what about Velvet Cape and War Priest on nitrogen? Let's see. Velvet Cape on nitro would be out of this world.
Fucking amazing. It is a Dunkelweiss.
Right?
That beer was fucking unreal.
It's already perfect.
Yeah.
right? But what that would do is it would pull any of the tartness out from the CO2, and now you have a sweeter, creamier version of the dunkel.
Right, but then also remember we did Velvet Curtain.
We have Velvet Rope.
No, there was also Velvet Curtain.
Oh, which one is this?
This was a Doppelbock that we made.
Let's see. Pills, Vienna, caramel. Oh, melanoidin. And then you hit it with the fucking
this
nitro.
Shit was unreal.
Jumping Jesus.
I think this was the one that when we were on, like Kara was even like, bring me home a bottle of this.
No, that's true. That's true. She demanded that it be returned to the home.
Yeah.
Underdogag wants to know how many beers we've made at this point.
Well, okay,
there may not be a number.
I mean, there's 153. But let's take out maybe 20 of them because I updated them for 5 green as well, or 5.
Oh, that's right. There's a few that are set up that way.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Now, are those 5G? I'm trying to remember. Are those 5Gs for extract brewing? Or are those they're just for larger home sets?
So 36. So 117 beers.
Yeah, which is plenty, and they've all been good. So next up, it sounds like we were able to get our issues resolved. Here on the poll system, which means that we can unleash our newest shit.
Heard about it.
So we have blue.
No, we've done blue, haven't we? No. Which ones have we done?
Everwinter is the white dragon.
White dragon, black flagon is the black. Oh, so we got blue and red.
Exactly, right? Because last week, however it came to be, we had red, white, and blue. So next dragon ? Exclamation point.
Next dragon.
Yep, all fixed. There was an issue with the poll system, but you should know
it's back.
That stalwart production engine, Josh Price, managed.
That poll is kind of you can see a little through it. Interesting.
Little transparent.
Little transparent through the system.
We got some other. There's some other things that he might ask me to click here. We'll see.
Hey, how about you click on a box?
No, Synaptic. We already did green, actually.
Yeah, that's Venom in the Veil, which was the double IPA.
Yeah, that one's already done. Lag Demon, you don't gotta scare people with tales of these spectral poles. Yep, green, black, and white, and then every one of them, just pick a different theme. It'll be non-transparent. Perfect.
I can't just, it's just there, and I can't not pick this thing up.
Here, I'll put a tasty. Oh man, they have a bunch of video game themed.
Oh really?
Yeah, they have a bunch of specifically
one?
video game themed ones. Like here's the Overwatch one. This kicks ass.
Nice.
Got the Stardew poll.
What?
Got the StarCraft. Yeah, wow. We'll try this one here next. Well, they want the blue, and I don't blame them because there's a lot to think about with blue. So let's begin
right
over at D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyonce,
if you will. Dragon. Let's see what we got. All right, let's get a sense of this personality thing. So yeah, this is 18 in.
Yeah, highly intelligent.
Yeah, they're ready to flex on you big time. With they have a lot of all the classic stuff, but that lightning breath, that linear 16d10, vain and territorial. Blue dragons soar through the skies over deserts, preying on caravans and plundering herds and settlements in the verdant lands beyond the desert's reach. Can be found in dry steppes, searing badlands, and rocky coasts. They guard their territories against potential competitors, especially brass dragons. So we'll keep that in mind. Brass dragon's sort of like it's a real dragon, but it's like, is it a real dragon? Something to think about.
Yeah.
Dramatic frilled ears. I mean, for me, that's always been the thing that I loved about it. It's the vibe.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It's those crazy ass, especially in D&D, like the head shape for the blue dragon is completely unique. It's always one of the weirder ones, right? The rest you can sort of get, but blue dragons look disgusting.
Right.
They look fucking gross. They're like they're very batty. Right?
Right. I think the first one is going to be a saison, because I like that thought of it being a vein. And when you're talking about saisons, you can get very uppity and point your nose in the air.
You can't.
You know what I mean?
No, you can make a saison that's very, very fancy, even though saison, like yeasts, like those are the ones we always talk about, like the horse blanket and shit. Like those are the types of yeasts. Like saison is a little up its own ass.
Yeah.
Or it can be, right?
Right.
It can be. I mean, it's supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be a farmhouse ale, right?
But it's not anymore. It's like, like
it's a little rarefied, right? And so when we're talking about this vein, up its own ass dragon,
right,
we might want the broad palette that a saison can offer us.
Yeah.
Right. We want to be able to do anything we want at all inside there and make it idiosyncratic.
Right.
I think is the main thing with them, because they're weird. Like they're weird. They are like very quick to anger, quick to find insult. Right?
Right. Like a pepper saison or something.
Exactly right. A little spice.
What do you think about a Goza?
Goza, I feel like, especially in the U.S. market.
Well, it's tart, fruity, and
I'm saying it occupies a little bit of the same space,
but it's also salty in character, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's salty. Yeah. All right, there's a lot to like there, and certainly we made a Goza. We made a Goza that was really, really good.
Yeah.
We also the very first time we brewed that, I think that was when we had Chris on, and that's when the brewing device began to leak. And so we had to use the towel, and then we wrung the towel out and drank it for some reason. It's not a good idea.
It's not. Commit to the bit.
Exactly. No, not gyoza. That's a separate.
God, I would love some gyoza right now.
But that's definitely not what we're talking about, right? Come now. Yes, tallow juice was drunken. But I'm liking that style. Honestly, I don't see any reason to put something else out there. I think for blue.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of something.
We want something that is. We definitely don't want the ordinary. Right? For a blue dragon, we definitely want something that we can lean into and say, and really chart a strange, novel course for it.
Right? So the pale ale.
Yeah, because pale ale is actually.
Dude, I was being sarcastic as fuck.
Well, no, the truth is that we've used, when we're talking about the more like mass market styles.
Yeah.
Pale ale has the fewest rules.
Right.
Right. I'm going to put it in there. My suspicion is that nobody's going to choose it.
Right.
If pale ale did get chosen, for me, that's an opportunity to just break this style over our knee.
Right. To do like a blueberry pale ale with fucking.
You see what I mean?
Something crazy in it.
Yeah. I'm saying that for pale, saison, and goza, pale is just like the entry point.
Right.
Right. That's the barest guardrails, and to still generate something that is a beer.
Mm.
The Gozerian? No. Although I like it. Yeah, I'm telling you, Neon Graveyard, Blue Dragons are hardcore. Like they're the ones that I am scared of.
Mm.
Like as a character and certainly as a DM, there's a lot more. I'd say there's a lot more work involved to do a Blue Dragon appropriately.
Right.
Just there's a lot more intellectual work to try to make that character believable. Like a 19 charisma, that's people can't do it. We're talking about a level of charisma that's indistinguishable from a spell.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, exactly right, Jack Lemon. Blue decks in MTG also scary. Yeah, and it's the interest in magic and rituals and shit. Grosephine, it's very nice of you. 19 charisma, I don't think it's how you do it, unless it's like executed at the
I mean the
highest level
tier. Like,
yeah, exactly. Now, so you want to snatch. It looks like Goza. It's about double of the rest of the votes.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be able to make something really cool with Goza. I mean, the thing with Goza is that this, at least the one that we made before that was really great, it's got the zest, right?
Oh, so we're doing a Goza.
We're doing a Goza. The people have spoken.
Okay.
So Fat Baron is saying the 19 Cha is more, do you have any Grey Poupon? That's like you roll that window down.
Wow, let's bring it back.
Movies. Thanks for the gifted sub. I ain't afraid of no goes.
Oh!
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Orion Rogue says, going to be useless here. No, nothing about Goza other than the salt. Yes. Obviously, salt is a big part of it. Pretty mild, tangy, a little bit of salt. Is Goza a sour? It is. It tastes sour, for sure.
Yeah.
But we got there with acidulated malts.
Yep. Okay, so let's talk
ginger in the Goza.
Ooh.
Rawr. Yeah, now you
That's
pretty
fun. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about our ABVs.
Let's get it.
A traditional Goza is like
Goza is so light.
4.2 to 4.8.
Right.
So we can go, obviously bring it higher. Like that is not.
But we still want it to sort of have the Goza vibe. I think if you crank the ABV too much, it's not going to work.
Right.
So we'll start with 4. Try this. 5.5 is about as far north as I'm willing to go.
Okay.
We'll put that out there, and then we'll see what it is. I think that part of the trickiness, right? Because we've had a few of these dragon themed beers that essentially it's about trying to model the psychological aspect of the creature, right?
Right.
So under Dogex, I'm thinking this is the beer the Blue Dragon might give its servants as a reward, would be sessionable. I think thematically, you think you're safe with the Blue Dragon until you're not.
Yeah.
Right? You think that you're the one tricking it for the most part, and then you realize the actual structure of it. Josephine, you're too kind. You're too kind. And you know this. And I appreciate it. So, yeah, I mean, Mechanthrope, all of these things function, right? I think 4 3/4, which is what we've got here. I think that that's correct. Mm-hmm. It's still it's sub 5, but it means business. It's basically just like, I think Blue Dragons give you enough rope to hang yourself, basically. Right. That's the dynamic. You think you're getting the better of it in some deal, and it ain't the case.
Is Beersmith working for everybody?
Oh, is it not visible?
It's showing an adult Blue Dragon on the screen. So, there we go. Thanks, Josh.
That's it. All right. So yeah, we have our ABV 4.75. Okay. Now, Gozens are also quite light in color as well.
Yeah, so we're looking at a 3 to 4 range, but we can bring that down a little, but it's usually a 3 to 4 on the SRM scale, which you'll see here in a second.
There's actually pretty significant distinctions between 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If you really want to fuck with this Goza, there's nothing saying we can't put blueberry in here.
Yeah, so let's get up to 6.
A salty blueberry?
Well, yeah, the salty, tangy blueberry. But remember, I mean, a big part of these, at least the ones that, like the one that we made that was a success, like it's one of the best beers I've ever had. The fresh zest.
Yeah, we put orange zest in there.
Exactly. But the fresh fruit zest oil, like inside there, is out of control. But yeah, and then obviously, if we end up with a fruit addition of some kind, the more gentle the SRM is kind of nice to have.
Right. Blueberry ginger with citrus zest. Interesting. I mean, that could be fun.
Yeah. Blueberry ginger with the brightness from the citrus. Yeah. That's a huge winner.
So what do you think do you think salty and fruity in that sense work with a blueberry fruit?
Well, they have in the past.
Like salt and citrus makes sense. Does salt and blueberry make sense?
Well, blueberry, it depends. An actual blueberry is kind of tart. And so it's communicating sort of on the same wavelength as the zest, right? In each case, the blueberry flesh, especially like a fresh blueberry, is quite sharp.
Right.
Actually. Now, a compote type thing, that's just a different vibe. I mean, in order to even get there, if all you had was something in that jam continuum, you'd have to add some other kind of zest to even to get to what a blueberry tastes like anyway.
Right.
So they're looking for that 3.
Okay, cool. So bitterness, these are not bitter at all. These are between 5 and 12.
Oh, they're not.
Which it makes sense
through the floor.
But which makes very much sense for this dragon because it's a charismatic dragon, so it's not going to be bitter to your face. Right? So, the higher end of this spectrum is when the dragon turns on you. The lower end is during your, accords.
It's true. So it's 5 to 12?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking crazy. Especially given the shit we've been up to recently.
Right.
These double IPAs.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Going north of 60. All right, now try these. We got some cool options here. We got 5, 12, and 20.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, figs kick ass. No lie. Figs are beast. God, ginger and figs is kind of wild, isn't it?
Interesting. It's an interesting combo.
It's more of a it's a thoughtful, considered fruit. Yeah, Krusty Utter says, I think it's mostly because the IBUs will kill the souring lactobacillus typically, but when kettle sours are used or uses acid malt, it should be fine. And yeah, we're going to be using acidulated malts probably.
And here's the thing: you don't have to use lactobacillus. You can use in a goza. You can actually use a regular ale malt or ale yeast. That's where things can kind of get loopy. Is you don't have to make this a sour. So that's kind of
turmeric, man. Everybody's it's like Cookie Mom comes in, no turmeric, just lays blind cleric out. Oh yeah, trying to get blue dialed in as a specific color. Blue is not a color that nature trades in very often.
No, but at the end of the day, you could put fucking fruit color in it.
Yeah, if we had to.
Yeah.
You could get there if you wanted to. The issue is that trying to balance it off of these yellows is going to be rough. Blue edible glitter. See, now you're talking, Josh.
Yeah.
Now you're talking. We know that edible glitter is a life-changing product.
Right.
We know it's an incredible experience.
They don't have it at the shop anymore. I don't know. They must have either went through it all or.
Well, they felt bad. Is probably what happened. They were like
the shame. Yeah, the shame of having it on the counter.
We gave in. Yeah, exactly. My guess is brewing. We know what it is. It's like if you introduce a machine that simplifies some part of the brewing process, the hardcore don't like it. They're like the hardcore in any other fandom.
Mm.
Like the actual brew heads, they want things to go a certain way. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
And it's the way it used to go.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Mask. Wait a second.
What?
Mom, are you watching this show? Is that
your mom?
It might be. It might be my mom. Anyway,
I'm just amazed. That's fantastic.
She's my mom, though. I mean, keep that in mind, right? She has a denim shirt and hat and cap set that say Penny Arcade Mom.
That's fucking great.
This is yeah. My mom's in the building. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is,
yes, mom is on.
Yeah, exactly. Now, no, but we literally had this conversation yesterday, Mom, and that is because. But right now, the hops, I have some in the freezer, but they're from a minute ago, right? But the roots are very, very healthy, and they're already, just as soon as it started to warm up, they're already poking up, right? Oh, Pookie, man, giving a sub to the mama, very nice. Now, but that's the hook. We have 3 options for fresh hopping this stuff, especially for a gentle beer. We can stuff a bunch of those in one of those cages, and we're out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Get those that lupulin.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Get crazy with it.
Yeah, let's get sick with it. So 12. So right in the middle, classic.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about our grains that we want to build this out with. Traditionally, you're using the 2 that you go with are Pilsner and wheat. And it's the balance between the 2 that really provide the underlying taste, right?
Yeah. So we're looking for the base malts?
No, I think what we're going to do is, for this vote, it's going to be a statistic. It's going to be a proportion.
A ratio,
excuse me. How much Pilsner to wheat do we use? Is it going to be a 90-10 split? An 80-20? Or a 70-30?
Here, so give me all those numbers again, because I was figuring out how to do the first title, and then
okay, so we'll do like a 90-10.
Yeah,
which is going to really pull back on the wheat flavor in this beer. An 80-20,
exactly, more sweet.
Yep, an 80-20, which is balanced, and then a 70-30, which is really going to go hard. Bring us into that wheat zone.
There we go. I mean, that would be a lot more. Like the 30% wheat lets you know it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a mouthfeel, just like with oats.
Right.
There's a mouthfeel aspect to wheat.
Because remember, one of the things we can do to emphasize that is we can put coriander seed in here as well.
Well, and that's classic.
Yeah.
And coriander seed will give us a citrus.
Right. And like a coriander and ginger, that could be a really neat
yeah, so coriander, ginger with the sharp taste and a sprinkle of salt.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Oh, so Beckenbauer was talking about Polaris, like that UK or that German spot for the hops. They said the guy replied and said delivery to the US via UPS should take a week. And since it's not summer at the moment, the hops should arrive without any degradation. So if we want to get that, if we want to get those Polaris hops, because there's a lot of times we've wanted to get that cool
minty flavor,
mint lozenge vibe. There's a few beers we've wanted to try. Goza would be a really good case.
I think so. Yeah. I don't think it wouldn't be in time for this, but
no. I'm just saying that like Goza with the rest of its dynamics, Goza would be a really cool take. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Jesus. 80-20 is coming out hot.
Kindled Sky says Polaris Goza is some big JRPG villain energy. Wow, yeah, I mean, the main thing is a classic JRPG villain has got to have that 4-letter name. Yeah, so Browen.
Yep.
.de. In fact, I'll just take that Beckenbauer and I'll put it in the same document we use to do everything else.
Cool.
On this show. I got a few other classics in here, like Blackberry Lambic.
Yeah, Wheat Manager 2021. Agreed.
Well, yeah, I mean, they got the whole brewing game now.
We should try that one day.
Yeah, we'll just do it during the stream.
Yeah. Yep, we've done Neon Graveyard. We've put tea in before several times.
Yeah, it's not super crazy.
Nope. Definitely doable.
Were we putting in during the boil?
We'll usually add it during fermentation because that's where you're gonna extract most of the flavors, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could do it during the boil, but you're gonna need a metric ton of it.
$80-20. That's it. So there's going to be a wheat bite.
A little wee bite.
Mm-hmm. Yes, pea flour. Pea flour is one way to extract a bluish color for sure.
What were we going for with the ABV?
Piril, you're talking about puer, I think is the it's a tonal language, and so it's almost certainly not correct pronunciation wise, but that's what those fermented peat or those fermented tea pucks are called. Mm-hmm. Pea flour for blue, and then tea pucks for the other side, which is pretty good. I mean, obviously I like fermented flavors, but fermented tea is kind of a wild ride, honestly.
You're a natto fan?
I don't hate it.
Is that a line too far? Because
I don't hate it. What I don't like is slime.
Yeah, that's what gets me.
The taste is fine, but I don't know about the slime.
Yeah, it's just like, let me eat my own nostril.
No, and I think that Josh is down with natto as well, if I remember right.
Hey, a lot of people. I mean, people love it. I just can't get past the texture.
Yeah, exactly. It's like rich and corded. Oh, that's right. We discussed it. It was a long time ago. God, there's an incredible episode of Iron Chef where Iron Chef Morimoto makes a dessert from Coca-Cola and natto.
Whoa, that's interesting. Does that cut down the slime because of
dude,
Coca-Cola?
I don't know.
Right? Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know what is good in that context.
Right?
I just don't want to be a part of it. Anyway, so that is what we are talking about here. 80-20 for pale to wheat.
And I know you just answered this, but what was the ABV we were going for?
The ABV is 4.75.
Oh, fucking great. Look at where we're at.
Well, I still see the SERM. Let me see.
Oh, that's my bad. I'm sorry, everyone.
Oh, no. We all love these colors. We want to look at them as long as possible. We want to commit them to memory so that we can become good brewers.
That's an 80-20 split. It's 4.7. On the money.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, so here's the thing. We could be done right now with our grain
the
bill.
malt. Yeah.
And then just start talking about all the other flavors we want to put in. Or we can add some other flavor in here with the grain.
True.
What was our SRM we were going for?
Hopefully the chat can help.
Did you write these things down?
Well, generally, yes. The IBU is to... Okay, thank God. Krusty Utter. That's 3 is what I wrote down. I thought it was 3.
Okay.
I didn't know. IBUs are 12. ABV is 4.75. Okay. SERM is 3. So we have a little bit of room to play, right?
Well, yeah, we can play here if we want. But are there any other flavors that we really want to add to this?
From the base?
On the base, or do we want to add let things like ginger and coriander and any kind of fruit we put in really
with it.
And the hops really do the flavoring?
Hey, so do we want to consider this particular poll as additions?
Yep.
And then we'll include another grain along with some of these other.
I would say, put a poll out that just says more grain or head to additions. Because that's I mean, I wouldn't want to cloud the additions with a grain choice.
Sure. So, but here in the more grain option, do we want to put a couple grains?
I don't want to put a couple. I want to put like one, maybe.
Yeah. So hook me up, and then I'll put it up. So Pilsner and wheat malt. We got these are obviously classic. This is a classic setup here.
I would say Victory malt, if anything. It's going to give us a toasted flavor.
In a Goza, that might be really interesting.
Yeah.
Done.
And we could put acidulated malt. It's either acidulated or we're just going to throw some salt in.
To get the to get the taste, the mouth vibe.
Yep.
Yeah, Victory is actually kind of a funny. It's kind of just purely based on nomenclature.
Right, exactly.
It's a good addition by itself. Just jumped on the stream. How is beer? Beer is great. I think I might actually pour myself a little bit more of the Warren Yeast, based on the perpetual battle realm of Akron.
The toasted flavor, the after effects of lightning breath.
Yes, the seared aspect.
Yeah.
But then, there's going to be there's going to be a couple novel twists, I think, here at the edition level, right? It seems to me, just looking at it raw, it seems to me that they're looking to get to the editions.
Right.
I think that's where the excitement for this particular beer lies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my suspicion is that even if you had blueberry, you'd still want, because Goza isn't really just about the fruit addition. It's these tart aspects with the salt that sell it. Right?
Right.
Well, yeah, and Graham Baxter, remember, they're also desert dragons too. It's easy peas. They can just get big mouthfuls of this stuff. Yeah, EMW, it's hammer time and hunting horn time for sure. You're going to see a lot of very large clubs coming down fast on monster heads.
Man, I'm downloading it as we speak.
So when you were talking about it before, you had a chance to actually look at the get a sense of how it looks on the Switch, which is
it looks amazing,
pretty solid. Sold 5 million copies already.
Jesus,
I think this is going to be huge.
Yeah,
it's going to be really, really big. And Monster Hunter World had a lot of content over the year that was really good, right?
You know what's interesting? I haven't actually hooked my Switch up to my TV, like the base up to the TV yet, and this is probably going to give me the reason to do so.
Yeah. Hey, Guathrog, we had a beer that used puer.
That what?
We had a beer that used Guathrog is like, hey, would you add puer with any type of beer? We have one that used puer.
Yep.
We had exactly the same idea, right? Because you can get to these sort of like funky tastes a couple different ways.
Yeah.
And that's a great move.
Yep.
Blind Cleric, yeah, I can understand why you would. I think the main thing is you have to find the weapon set. Every one of the weapons in Monster Hunter is what any other game would call like a completely different game. Like one weapon set in this is like another game's top to bottom level of complexity.
Is this like Disgaea weapon complexity, like where you're going down for
you
5 hours
you don't get
or
to
a
penetrate
millennia?
The weapon,
a millennia in one
and
weapon,
improve it.
Yeah.
We don't have that, but what we do have, what we do have in there is, super interesting high risk reward mechanics, and then you can figure out what your level of comfort is with that stuff.
Right. So, I mean, it used to be very much more technical game than other kind of hunter games.
It's still very technical. The combat, like the weapon combat, is really, really dialed in by this point. So hey, we're just moving on. We're not even focusing on that.
Wow, cool. Okay, I like that. So what flavors do we really want to add to this beer? In addition wise, we could do ginger, coriander, a berry. We could do figs, right? Where do we want to go with
figs? So rich. Here, so let's start with fruit.
Okay.
Right. Let's get what each of these sort of like vertical columns resolved in here. So I think fig. Yep. Fig has a dark, rich, sweet that might be really wild in a beer, especially if it has a savory aspect.
Right.
I love that. Blueberry, it's a little bit on the nose, but blueberry is a really great flavor. What would be another cool on the fruit side in terms of the fruit edition? What would be good? Dates. A lot of people are looking for dates, and that's a great desert vibe too.
Sure. Can we get dates at the like the Fred Meyer? Remember, we got to be able to get this. Like,
if we really want dates, we'll be able to get dates.
Okay. I mean, I say that every weekend, but it just doesn't always
I have never. I've got all the apps.
Yeah.
So fig, blueberry, dates, orange is obviously in the mix. And I'd say lemon for the mega brightness. Let's put those out there. It might. I think there's a scenario where you might add one and then one more.
Could be.
Because one you'd be doing a zest, and the other one would be just an addition.
Or like if it was an orange, I would immediately go to lemon and do like an orange lemon zest.
Yeah,
like that'd be amazing.
Okay, you rain glass? No, Jack. We refer specifically to the fruit. It's the body for me.
Oh, with the Warren yeast?
It's the body.
Yeah.
The alcohol is not present.
Okay.
Like against the coffee bitterness, like against the bitterness that's already in there.
Oh yeah, you don't taste any medicinal alcohol.
That's why we couldn't figure out what the ABV was. You can't figure it out from the taste.
No, not at all.
It does not rise to the level. Man, they want the figs. But see, I like this. I think fig and dates were both moving into this dark, rich, sweet, which is going to be so neat against what is typically a bright beer.
Right. And I think it's neat because it also plays into the charismatic nature of the dragon, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And especially when you're talking about, in either case, we're talking about, they're dialing this into a specific place, which is good. Right. Yeah, exactly right, Guathrog. This is what I mean. Fig plus apricot.
Hey now.
Whoa. Curator Stravos wants to know why no option for cherry.
I don't think this is the real.
Because we're criminals.
Yeah, I mean,
we're villains. We have used mega cherry on the show for sure. In this particular one, there's a lot of base in this list over here. Right. That might also be it as well, Lag Demon. Yes, see, rosewater is if we're still talking about deserts, rosewater. God, a rosewater fucking goza. That is so fucking wild. Holy shit, dude. That is a really crazy ass idea. Yeah, orange blossom water also. Yep. Yeah, I mean, rosewater and dates, that's the combo, right? So they want these figs. God damn it. And they're going to get him.
Okay. Notes of fig.
Notes of fig. Now, do you want me to run that poll again?
I think no. Well, not the whole poll. I think we should add orange. I think we should.
Orange is in there for sure. I'm saying run the rest of the poll. Remove fig.
I don't. Well, because I don't like fig and blueberry or whatever. Like.
Yeah, that's no good.
Let's talk about orange. Let's talk about ginger. Let's talk about coriander.
Yeah, let's talk about the treble, right?
Yeah. You know, we already got the base.
Orange, lemon, coriander.
Ginger. You can put some lime in there.
True. Yeah, lime is a whacked out one.
I think Chinese 5-spice may be all right. I don't. Yeah, I'd rather use a ginger than that at this point.
Yeah, I'd rather. We don't want that many. We don't want that much polarity.
Right.
To go in there. Yeah, Szechuan pepper is an interesting call.
Yeah, we did do a Szechuan. That was for the Taiko Bruhei recipe. That was real good.
God, it was.
I love Szechuan.
Star anise. Yeah, also cool.
Great band.
Anise is great in general. Gosh, so figs and ginger, dude. I think they are onto something here. I think they are really, really onto something here. I think that you could do ginger and fig with a zest.
With a zest, okay.
What's the question, Peril? I see that run a tap on ozone. Was an ozone gas as a pressure gas? They certainly don't offer it.
To remind myself.
Yeah, the ginger's going to add a lot of bite. We're going to have to be careful, obviously, with the amount that we add for the ginger addition and how long it stays in. For sure. Because ginger will run this thing if we let it.
Yep, absolutely. It'll run this town tonight.
Yeah. No, ginger.
Okay.
In. So figs and ginger. These are both. Ginger has a lot of low end too.
Right. So I would say then if we do want to go a zest route, we say either no zest, orange zest, or lime zest. Or we could do lemon zest as well.
Yep.
Put all the zest in there. Yeah. Or no zests.
Exactly. No zest is in there.
And really just keep it with that fig and ginger taste. Like that's interesting too. Right?
Yep. Yeah. You can't go wrong even with the base model of this. But if you what these other things would do, it would be bright.
Right.
And that would open up the ginger and the fig a lot if there's something positioned at the top of the treble clef flavor wise.
Right.
Yeah. I'm seeing some interesting stuff over here for sure. Stravos, does sumac have a fruit?
Really?
It must, right?
I guess. I just never, things you don't think about, right?
Upright fruit clusters, usually red and covered in velvet fuzz. Sumac clusters are called drupes. Yeah, for sure. Like droplets on a raspberry, right? The berries ripen in summer and tend to be wet and sticky when ripe. It's said to be sour and much like lemon. It's like a tiny citrus.
Huh.
Weird.
Yeah. Ginger and fig sounds like a stripper duo.
Oh, yeah. North American sumac. No, mega poison.
Yeah.
Do not eat.
Yeah.
Do not eat. Or eat and die.
Yeah, one of the two. I mean, if you really need to. I mean, it's delicious. It's I guess
cake or death.
Cake or death. Oh, you chose death.
Nope, this is a winner here. And it's not crazy, but it did win out. Lemon and lime had equal votes. Orange just got over the top. Holy shit, dude. This is going to be a whacked out beer.
Yep. Okay, so let's talk about hops.
Yeah,
what flavors do we want?
Is not crazy, right?
No, but what flavors do we want to add for our hops? Like, do we want to go citrusy still with the hops? Do we want it to be stone fruit, spicy, herbal? That's the thing. We got to talk about. Let's talk about the overarching flavor profile on this before we even delve into which hops.
Yeah, I think. So, do you want that in poll format?
Why don't you? Your choice. I mean, do we want this citrusy? Do we want it fruity? Stone fruits, floral? I mean, pine. I mean, there's so many different. Spicy, right? Herbal.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kick this out. This is a bigger poll than usual. It's got 6 choices, but let's try to get one of these dialed in.
Right, because
Pirro says I want to go fairly easy on the hopping. That's gonna be
that's a given.
That's the IBU.
Yeah,
and since it's only 12, some aspects of this are stylistic in nature. Like a Ryan Rogue, an expert brewer says, in my opinion, the IBUs are so low, I don't know if you're going to get much from any change in hops.
Right. But we got to figure out something. So let's talk about it that way, right?
Yeah, Mosaic kind of gets it dialed in.
Yeah, that's true.
Floral. Now you're talking. Right?
I mean, mosaics are mostly blueberry with rosy floral and some citrus.
Yeah. See, if it's a rosy floral, now we're talking. Yeah, mosaic is the one that comes up most often when you're talking about it, right?
Yeah.
I'm also seeing Southern Star, which I've never even heard of. I don't know. I don't know how often we're getting our mitts on South African hops.
Not often.
Yeah. Hey, so they want the floral, and I think the reason they want the floral is so that we can get at some of the other rose note in the desert vibe, right?
Right. So I think easily the first one is mosaic.
Yep.
Now, how do you feel about Willamette? Willamette? How do we pronounce it here in Willamette?
Out this way we call it Willamette, yeah.
So it's peppery and herbaceous. With fruity and floral notes.
Wild. So for mosaic, what were the notes you'd give me for that? I know that it has rose.
I would give you blueberry, rosy floral, stone fruit, citrusy, stone fruit.
Got it. All right. So we got a couple tender options here. What else do we think?
You know what? I think a classic here would be Cascade.
What do we got?
It's floral, spicy, and citrus.
All right. put those 3 up. Those are all winners. And yeah, it's true. I mean, at 12 IBU, we're not going to be.
No, it's not going to be overpowered.
It's nothing crazy, but it's an infusion, right?
Yeah. But you at least want to, consider it along with everything else we're doing with the beer, right? You don't just want to blindly throw something in. Which, I mean, you could.
Yeah. Now, if Mosaic wins, or anyone that wins, it might be worth adding some at the end just to double up and emphasize when it's not going to be adding IBUs.
Right.
It might be nice just to top it up with a little bit at Whirlpool.
Okay.
Just so that nose comes off with the fig and ginger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like weirdly excited about this one.
Mm-hmm.
This is a winner. Oh man. Yeah, this theme. So, gosh, should we just go right to metallics?
Yeah, right. just
go right
copper
to
brass.
Metallics.
We've done everything evil. We might as well go good.
Yeah, right. Like really get into some of those vibes, because there's going to be overlaps in some cases. Each of these is essentially an ecosystem, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, Ryan Riggs says this is going to be like 4 pellets with Mosaic. All the more reason to add it as a dry edition, or to hit it at Whirlpool, right? Yeah, old school with the gem dragons. Look, we've talked about the lozenges, right? We know. No, they want the Mosaic up front.
I dig it. Okay. Now, do we want to add Mosaic at Whirlpool?
I think so. I'll put it. That'll let us use more of the package.
Yeah. What was our IBU?
12.
Oh, 12. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously next week is the Red Dragon for sure. I mean, in the future, I'm already thinking about that.
Wow, dude,
I'm already thinking about the next shit.
Listen, I'm always impressed. Always impressed. You're
Yeah.
always thinking.
I'm like a shark.
You're fine. Your head is like a shark fin, right? Yeah.
Maybe.
Bringing it back to the LL Cool
I'm
J.
like there's a lot of ways I'm like a shark.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, other than thinking about a step or two
obvious,
ahead.
yeah. I mean, people definitely.
Do you have gills?
Well, not in the classic sense.
Okay. Sharp teeth.
Shark teeth?
Sharp teeth.
No.
Okay. So.
No. My teeth are ground flat like a ruminant's.
Okay. So what other ways would you consider yourself like a shark?
Sharky?
Yeah.
Sharkian?
Sharkian.
I would say my overall gray pallor.
Okay.
Very sharky. Shark adjacent.
Smooth. Yeah. Okay, sure.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The aerodynamic profile.
Right.
It's increased. Cartilage. Yeah, I got it for days, kid. No. So
I ain't running out anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly. No. So we're gonna hit it with the Mosaic at Whirlpool, which is going to be great for this. It's going to be great. Honestly. And it'll let us leverage some more of that packet too. It's so simple, so cool. I can't wait to see this bad boy. Whacked out additions, killer flavors. And so this is obviously our beer for the Blue Dragon. It's subtle. It is learned. It is broad in its implications. Now, of course, we need a yeast.
Yeah, we have to talk about some yeast strains.
Yeah. Ghost has got some ones that it wants, I assume. But really?
No, and that's what everybody gets wrong about it.
It's just the included stuff?
Everybody thinks you have to go with a souring yeast. You can not do that, and you can use let the salt do the talking for everything else, and go with like a German ale yeast.
Oh, just something clean.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So what are we thinking?
But let's get the first one out. Let's see what we can do here. Who makes it good? Isolated from Bruce. The first one is going to be a lactobacillus from Y yeast. This is the classic one that's going to make this very sour. Now, we can also keep this, if we want all these other flavors to really do the talking and let the salt be what emphasizes the goza flavor, we can go with the German ale yeast. If we want the figs and the ginger and the salt and the zest to be the emphasis of this.
Okay, we'll put those out there. See what they say.
Mm-hmm.
The champagne yeast. Interesting. So it's starting to look like, to me, and I only say this because the vote is over 90%. It's looking to me like they really want the acid malt to give us the tanginess,
mm-hmm.
and then to have it to be mostly about these additions.
Yeah,
which is interesting. Yeah, unanimity is not super common in these polls, Graham Baxter. Typically.
Yeah.
Now, I feel confident saying that German ale yeast.
Yeah, has got it here.
With the addition, we're gonna have the acid malt to give us a little bit of that tang, but then the rest of those additions are what gives it the sophistication.
Yeah, I mean,
Great
the
call.
fig, ginger,
Great
and
call.
corn zest. I mean, it's just gonna be out of this fucking world.
This is, and right as it's starting to warm up,
mm-hmm.
This is going to be what we get out of the fermenter.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yes. So, we do need a name.
We do need a name.
Ready to type. Bolt from the blue. Bolt from the blue has got a lot going for it.
False yeast lightning. Jesus.
Brood dragon.
What is it? Brew dragon?
Oh. Times brood dragon?
Brew dragon. Dum 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 dum.
Bolt from the brew.
Crackling maw. That sounds fun.
You geese.
St. Elmo's Fire. Great steak restaurant.
Yeah, Talp, I know. There's a lot of crazy behavior out here.
Static charged, yeah. Storms of brewing.
Mutually Azured destruction.
Wow. Protoform. Azure alchemy, fun.
Mm-hmm. I like pros. Yes, that's true. Monsters are happening next. Mm-hmm. Doom of the Desert. Yeah, something like that. Vitrification, Sand and Sky. All right. I'm waiting for one more, I think. Yeah. A lot of people are. Yeah, Oasis is very simple and tasty, though.
Yeah. Victory.
Give that a try. There's a healthy list here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
Wow, that is a list. Jeez.
Well, yes. Yeah, it did happen, but that's only because the beer ended up being north of 7%.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to play Bullet.
Oh yeah, I haven't played that. I haven't thought about that in a while.
You know, final version. I actually have it. The final version.
Oh really?
Just it's here in the house, and the main thing is that each of us sort of play on your own board.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a good.
It was game. It was a really fun. I mean, really fun experience when we played it the first time.
No, it kicks ass. It's really, really good and smart, and it has that co-op mode.
Yeah.
So we can play against those boss units.
I agree. And it's nice out. So
wow, Proto. Yeah, I know. Yeah, now it'll be much nicer to play out on the porch. It was fucked up last time. Our shit was getting blown in the yard. This is Proto. You came out and you delivered.
Wow, mutually assured destruct. Amazing.
Yeah, exactly. You can see the label. Exactly, Ithwin. That's what I always do too. I'm always picturing that label first.
Yeah.
No, Trance. Somebody else had suggested vitrification as well. Eric does believe in unified greenfield theory.
I do.
He's seen it.
Listen, I think my skills have progressed over the past couple weeks and have gotten pretty okay.
No, your scores are looking right. Oh, and people have a chance to see those scores today at 3. So,
yeah.
No, that's it. Mutually Azured destruction. It happened. Well, hey, I'm going to get a hold of Mr. Krahulik. And then I'm going to grab this, put it right here, and I'll be ready to get down. Good Lord. Right away.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no, nobody's driving, Pat. This. He's just going to kick the stream back up. All right, cool. He says he's ready, Josh. So let's get it. Thanks so much, Precious Channel, for rolling through. We're not actually going anywhere. We're just going to drop the stream. Mike's going to pick it up from his house. We're going to hunt some monsters. We're going to roll back through come 3 o'clock. We're going to find a new course, and we're going to get wild with it. So come back and see us. See you.